Hello Pisces, it's Marina from the Butterfly Effect, and this is your reading for October 2019. This is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. If you don't know your other placements, the Cafe Astrology link is below if you'd like to have a wee look. But if the title speaks to you, it's probably your reading. Please take what resonates and leave what doesn't, and don't try and fit it into your story. If you're in a good place, don't be watching tarot at all. Just like and pop back off. Thanks for listening. Right, I don't think this is your energy coming through, because I always like to think I'm reading for the good guys in tarot, you know. I'm not saying this is a particularly bad person, but they do have some issues. I sort of feel you're coming through more as my Queen of Wands over here, and the individual that you've been dealing with, are dealing with, have been dealing with is a Knight of Wands. Yeah, I'm going to run with that. So here he is. Here is my Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands who is a gambler. Someone who's insecure about their own money, insecure about their own abundance. The abundance card here. Yeah, insecure. The abundance, if you look at this wee picture of the man and the female, this is about a man who loses his money and literally loses his mind in the process. He hits the bottle in the background here. He's completely distraught and discombobulated by his situation. This is something I would suggest this Knight of Wands has created himself. I don't think it's just a bit of misfortune that's befallen him, because he is coming through as the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is a very arrogant, you know, self-centered, boastful character. It's very, very exuberant. It does have some good qualities as well, obviously. But when this man loses his money, as I say, he loses the plot. But the female here takes some time to work out how to retrieve it, and she puts down a bit of string and a bit of gum, and day by day she pulls up every coin and takes it back to her wee cottage. So she is rewarded for her resourcefulness, for her resilience and her patience, whereas he's lost it completely. And I sort of feel that this is the character that I'm reading for here as the gambler. So the Knight of Wands, this is my Mythic Tarot deck. I do often see him as a player. Certainly that's no different in this deck. He is a very charming individual. He's someone who perpetually seeks challenges. He is what's his name? Bellerophon. I wrote it down. I'm going to see it. Bellerophon? Bellerophon, we'll go with that. So he was... it's basically his own arrogance is his undoing, because he was successful. He was set a task which was incredibly difficult to achieve. He mastered Pegasus here that he's riding on, and he killed the Chimera. But at that point, rather than, you know, being humble and grateful and proud, his own self-importance and arrogance just completely was his undoing. He at that point thought he was immortal, and he flew to tried to fly to Olympus, at which point he completely pissed the gods off, and they did somebody's horse, can't remember what, but he basically fell to earth. And yeah, he was completely humbled. He did kill a rival. He even killed his own brother, and it's not maliciousness that drove him to it. He's too high-spirited. He's someone who doesn't have control of his own emotions. He's just very, very reactive. I did get Freak Out on that. Songs will be below. Please have a listen. And I also got Night Fever, bit of a play on the old Knight of Wands there, which I thought was quite amusing. So yeah, incredibly charming individual, but ultimately he is divorced from reality. He is completely unreliable. And there has been an issue with him possibly taking risks, feeling that he had everything under control, and it's put him in a bad spot. But the real issue with this is not his story. Obviously that's an issue, but it's the effect that it's had on others around him. In particular, I think this Queen of Wands over here, this may be you, Pisces, this could be you, obviously just switch your genders. But he's coming through as a vampire, as someone who is, you know, draining someone else's life force, basically, someone who might be a chronic complainer, someone who's very codependent, because the vampire card came up in the immediate future for my Queen of Wands up here, who's all full of wisdom. This is, you know, something that she's having knowledge of now in the immediate future. We're not there yet. You might be Pisces, but The Queen of Wands is obviously more mature because she's dealing with a knight. This could be a mother and a son rather than, you know, an actual romantic relationship. It could be a work situation. You know, fit it to your story as you would. But this Queen of Wands is very wise, or at least she is now, where she maybe wasn't previously. This is someone who is maturing. Someone who honours themselves, and with the vampire I was a little bit confused as to why it came through, so I specifically asked who has the vampiric nature, and it was the Knight of Wands from 2 different decks. Double confirmation that this is the chap who is the issue. So I feel this Queen of Wands here is either is now aware, this is where this wisdom is coming from, that someone has been draining her life force, may have actual fact be draining her finances, because there's a lot of issues around money here, and I do think this chap could straight up be a bit of a con man. So the blocking position, what is the challenge for the month, is the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles, oh, I will say on this Knight of Wands, the song I got through was John Lennon's Woman. I'm forever in your debt. It may be financially. And he would like to try and explain that he never meant to cause you sorrow or pain. I'd like to, for showing me the meaning of success. I know you understand the little child inside the man. Yeah, I really quite, as I say, I don't know if it's malicious or not. I think there might be an issue there because I have my deception card down here. So I don't know the story. You'll know the story. Please put in your comments. This may be someone who's just been put in a position where they've panicked and they've maybe done something that is, I wouldn't go far as to say it's illegal, but it's probably immoral. I think they've maybe taken advantage of someone here for their own pleasure. You basically do need to take everything he says with a grain of salt and then just keep adding the salt. That is who the Knight of Wands is. So anyway, here's our challenge that came through with broken wings, which is quite amusing because he wants to learn to fly again, given that he's been cracked off his horse on the way to Olympus. Love it. So this is holding on very tightly to something, almost too tightly. It's my miser card. It's someone who's not prepared to share, who doesn't open up. But it can be a dreadful fear of loss, which can mean there's no loss, but there's then stagnation. There's no self-expression here, and there's no growth. So if you are identifying with the Knight of Wands, this is the position they're now in. They may have been, you know, financially buckled so much that they now have a terrible fear of losing their money. It can just be someone who's saving. And the best that they can hope to achieve this month is to try and bring their finances back into balance here with my Temperance and the Two of Pentacles. Materially balance out their life. There can be an element of robbing Peter to pay Paul here, to be honest. But this is a card about money makes money. So in the past here, I do have the Page of Pentacles. I think this Knight of Wands has been, you know, given some money, or he's won some money, or, you know, there's something come his way. It could just be a pay rise or a new job, something like that. And I think it's possible they've blown it, I'll be honest. And if not, they've taken risks with it. That, as I say, have had a bearing on someone else here, and this is the best that they can achieve now, is to try and bring this back into balance. It's about being flexible. It's about investing the money you have wisely. There's not an enormous amount of money here, but you have, you know, if you have the skill and the tenacity, you can invest it to, you know, grow, basically. It can be someone who's managing 2 jobs as well. But it's really nice opportunity in terms of the best that you can hope to achieve. I mean, this could be the person you're listening for rather than yourself. But yeah, with Temperance, this is lovely. This is peace and harmony and balancing, you know. But I am noticing the cup, pouring the cup to the cup, and the 2 here. So someone really could be, you know, robbing Peter to pay Paul, you know. Borrowing on one credit card to pay the monthly instalment on another credit card, just to keep things so. And that is actually the best that they can possibly look to achieve for the month of October. The base of the matter, the subconscious, the psyche, what's possibly not visible to you, is the Nine of Swords with my deceit card. And this is where I think we do have an issue, and the action that they've taken with regards to this deceit. Because the Nine of Swords is mental anxiety, stress, insomnia. This is, you know what you've done, you know what you've done, you know what you've done. This is the point where in the Eight of Swords it is analysis paralysis, where Orestes cannot make the decision to kill his own mother, but this is when he's done it basically, and he knows what he's done, and there's no alibi. You know, they've just made a decision which is a pretty awful one, albeit they were in a very difficult situation, but that decision has involved deceit. This is duplicity. This is usually someone that you know. I do genuinely think this is my Knight of Wands here, who has done something very deceitful. It's manipulation. And yeah, taking advantage of someone for their own gain, basically. Hidden tactics. And if you don't know that, Pisces, and this is who you've been dealing with, yeah, now you do. And as I've already covered you off, if you're coming through as the Queen of Wands, you do now know, I think, you're getting wise to the fact that this person either has issues with money, there may be a financial drain on you, there may be an emotional drain on you, but overall they are just very immature. This is someone who may be a little bit stunted emotionally. I'll come on to why I've said that at the outcome. So in terms of where you'll find yourself, we have a bit of an anomaly here. We have the Ten of Wands in reverse, which is putting down your burdens, you know, no longer procrastinating. It's an ending with the 10 here. It's final. I've had enough, dropping all the wands, and I'm going back to something brand new, the Ace of Wands. But with release in reverse here, it's not happening. So there's stuck energy here again, which is coming back to your challenge, which is quite stagnant, stuck energy. This could be around a work situation with my workaholic card, or it could be the fact that, you know, someone is managing 2 jobs and it is proving quite a burden. So they would very much like to, I think, drop the burden, wouldn't we all? But there is a reason why they can't. It's just not proving possible just now. Now, upright, the title in this card is I Can No Longer Keep Your Secrets. So this is probably someone who is still keeping secrets about why they have been so burdened. They would like to drop it. They would like to move on from it. But I do think they're being held here in the Nine of Swords because of previous deceptive energy. How you are being viewed, or how they are being viewed, is the Nine of Wands and my victim. So the Nine of Wands is my struggle card. It's perseverance, it's battling on through. Someone has been a victim here, or at least they feel like a victim, but this is still battling through, trying to get through that little opening to calmer waters, but we're not there yet. But this is just in terms of how you're being viewed or how you're viewing them. It doesn't need to be, you know, actual. And in the final outcome, we have your own card here, Pisces, and my Hanged Man. And so this is Prometheus. Prometheus is about self-sacrifice, basically. He's sacrificing something for the benefit of others, or, you know, the human race, as it actually is in this card. I just sort of get that this is hanging on in there. It has come through with athlete. This is dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, a development of personal willpower and strength of spirit. So yeah, I just think you're hanging on in there. I don't think it's easy. I don't think it's been easy. I asked what to clarify that. I got completion and guilt. Okay, so this is I feel it's possibly accepting. If this is the Knight of Wands, there is an acceptance of guilt here. There's an acceptance that possibly a relationship has been ruined. The sun has set on it due to their previous behaviour. It's acceptance. There is an acceptance here with the Hangman. This is basically what Prometheus is. He is self-sacrifice, but he is also acceptance. It can be having a different perspective on things. Maybe someone is realising their own behaviour, you know, the cause and effect of that. But whatever it is, there is a wrap-up here in the completion card. And there is an acceptance of the situation, but still persevering, still hanging on in there. It can be my depression card. With the athlete coming through, I really am not getting that. I just feel that it's just really difficult, but we're just hanging on in there. Because he can be a card of self-sacrifice, I did ask what was sacrificed, and I got the King of Wands in reverse. So this could be another individual that's, you know, pretty much been thrown under the bus here in the process. But I sort of feel with it being the Knight of Wands twice, that what has been sacrificed is this person's opportunity to mature, really, you know, to be an adult, to progress from Knight status to King status. And the reason for that is, in terms of the archetypes they've come through with, this is someone who has a feelings of abandonment that stifle their maturation, and they also seek inappropriate surrogate families, coming back to the Vampire and the Queen of Wands here. And it's also my wounded child. Is someone who blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds and resists moving on through forgiveness. So yeah, I mean, I really do think this person has got issues, Pisces. I don't think it's you. I think you're just hanging on in there. I don't know where you are in this reading. You'll know. I sort of see you as the Queen of Wands over here. And if that is so, and the Pisces is not your card, then this person is at least accepting some sort of responsibility for their actions. They do seem to have, you know, still some emotion invested in this relationship, but yeah, I don't know. So I've asked for the advice. I've got my lovely Wolf Moon, which is I will watch over you. This is a sort of protection card, which is very handy to have when you've got vampiric energy around you. I'll read you a little bit of this. Here we go. A clan brother or sister is watching over you while you change, so rest easy knowing how fiercely loved and loyally protected you are. While you change, you will be held and watched over by a guardian who will not let you down. You are in the moment of transformation. Your fears that others will not understand who you really are when you show yourself, and that you will be left vulnerable, are unfounded. Your greatest fear is that you may hurt others while you are changing so deeply. The next time the moon is within 3 days of being full, either side, call on me to come to you. Call on your kin to come to you. With energy and confidence, know you can find your people and parts of yourself that have been near invisible, seemingly extinct. I will help you traverse the unseen, mysterious world, help you make sense of sensations you're having, and clarify psychic messages that you may be flooded with. You may feel drawn to creating a symbol, getting a tattoo, experimenting with coal, or having a symbol worked into a talisman or protective piece of jewellery that will help you and protect and support you. You have the guardianship of the wolf for now. It is safe to rest for a time. Your time to shelter your guardian family will come. The coming full moon is significant for you. I can't even think where the next full moon is as well. A couple of weeks, isn't it? Your time to shelter your guardian, I said that. You're changing, and your true family will support you through this shift. This is a time for courage. When you approach this change with a brave heart, all will be well. And I did also get the wise one, which is grow within your current circumstances. So this is suggesting that it's very much like my wisdom card here. There is, you know, a growing realization and maturing, because she is the crone. But that there's still something to be learned from this situation. So she always, to me, kind of indicates that although I have my completion card up here, there's still some loose ends, quite possibly. The wisdom of the wise one is based on something that the younger generation is often lacking. Yeah, because your Knight of Wands is definitely younger, if not in age, at least in maturity. When this card appears, you are being guided to continue working on your growth and expansion within your current situation. Be committed to your tasks and projects. It can be very easy to get bored or overwhelmed, but persevere. You are being reminded of how it feels to be let down and experience unreliability. Here he is, doubly so. And that is not who you were born to be. So keep working on what you're working on, because it's going to be extremely beneficial in the long run. Knuckle down, be reliable and committed, and be open to wisdom and insight from your elders. If you are the Queen of Wands, I think you're okay. I think this is dawning on you, maybe what or who you've been dealing with here. You do have to protect yourself, certainly financially. With the Vampire, it's a very draining energy. And that is, you know, if you are dealing with this type of archetype, they literally can't help themselves. They will drain you. So this person has got a lot of growing to do, Pisces. But there you go. That is your reading for October. Thanks for listening. Please like, please subscribe if you would like. A personal information is below. And I hope you have a really good month. Bye bye.